Hey guys, it's the Unsmooth Criminal, and I am back with another What If, and I'm gonna like this What If. So, the title might be strange, but I'm also gonna put parentheses Doomslayer on the back. I probably put parentheses Doomslayer on the end of it. So this is gonna be What If female Deku was Doomslayer, and you're probably like, oh, he's gonna go to hell. Yeah, Crucio, what if, or Crucio did this. No, I'm not sending him to hell. And yes, Crucio did it. I will put a link to in the description to his playlist. So, we go to a 4-year-old getting her quirk, and the doctor says, you have a very strong but dangerous quirk. And she says, okay, what is it? And he goes, Slayer. And she goes, what? And he says, your quirk's name is Slayer. If you kill something, you gain the strength and vitality of that creature. It's any kind of creature. If you kill it, you gain the strength and vitality of it. And the innate abilities of it. And then he gives an example. Like a cat. You gain its natural senses and reflexes. You gain its agility too if you have enough strength to withstand it. And she goes, okay, that makes sense. And they go on their way. So they're down at the quirk doctor's, and her mom, it's currently really windy, so if you guys hear wind, sorry. Her mom is taking her home when a giant semi-truck T-bones them. If people know what a T-bone is, and if you guys don't, look it up. It's very, very bad when a semi-truck does it. But she barely survives, and she's given a proposition via someone mentally communicating with her. And this man, who's set up the accident because he knows her quirk, and he knows what she could do, gives her a proposition. For her to play a game, or she'll die, and her mother will die immediately. And if she plays the game and wins, she gains the freedom of her and her mother. And she says, okay. She just wanted to survive. So she said, okay. And he goes, very well. And she's gone. Her mother and her are gone. Hi, Jack. The door's open. You can come out now. I just freaking let him in. Now he wants out again. God damn it. But she has to play a game. So she got sent to somewhere random, and the man explains himself, saying, you are sent to a deserted island, and the game is for you to survive. 12 years of being hunted. If anybody knows the game mode Manhunt for Minecraft, it's when you have people trying to kill you while you're trying to beat the game. So that's basically what I'm putting in my hero. So we have well-known villains that aren't barely known, and he tells her to initiate the game. She must take the dagger that is given to her, and there's a dagger in front of her, and it's a combat dagger. If anybody knows what a bayonet is, it's one of those. And to plunge it into the man in front of his heart. Then the game will start. But she can't start the game for 24 hours. She must get used to sleeping on dirt and her surroundings for 24 hours. Because he's not a mean person. He's not just going to throw a child that doesn't know how to hunt, doesn't know how to forage into the wild without any kind of thing. And he keeps a link saying, I'll tell you if you can eat it or you can't eat it. But that's all I'll help with. And I'll also tell you what's good drinking water and what's bad drinking water. Because I'm not that mean of a person. And she's like, okay. But then he goes, you must kill that man within 24 hours. Or the bomb in your neck and your mother's neck goes boom. And he says that, and she goes, okay. And she's now almost freaking out and having a panic attack. And he goes, calm down, calm down. I laid out the rules. And don't worry, everybody on this island that is trying to hunt you down is a villain. They're convicted for multiple homicides and attempted murders in the past. So, if you kill them, you're just kind of dishing out their punishment of death row already. So, you're not really hurting the environment or the breaking the law. You're just defending yourself. So, I kind of legally helped you with that. And she's just slowly calming down, but she's still freaking out. She's shaking, she's nervous. And he gives her encouraging words like, you can do this, your quirk will allow you to. You got this. And she finally looks at the person that's tied up in front of her, who she has to kill. And she asks the man that's in her head, what did he do? And he says he's wanted for multiple hero killings and for multiple attempted murders and successful murders on civilians. And she asks, what's his quirk? And he goes, I don't think your quirk can do it, but just in case your quirk can give you other quirks just by killing the other person, his quirk is called muscle enhancement. Yes, I'm killing off Muscular. Just sue me. And she goes, okay. And Muscular is out cold. He has so much anesthetic in him that he won't wake up for a good few days. So we skip 23 hours and 59 minutes. And he says, okay, now it's a choice. Do you want to go through with the game or perish here? Which then I'll just need to find another participant for this game. And she hears another participant and she goes, no, I'll do it. And she takes the knife and hesitantly and shuts her eyes and quickly just stabs him in the heart. And he makes no noise. And the man goes, good job. Now. Oh, God. My pool's covers flying around. Yes, I have a pool. But he's like, good job. Now, the game begins. And he shuts up. He stops talking and she's like, are you still there? And he's not talking. And she was about to grab some poisonous berries because she's starting to get hungry. He goes, you can't eat those. And she goes, okay, I can't eat those. We skip 1 year. 1 year. She's killed over 300 different animals. Not including men. She's killed 20 villains. And 15 heroes that have done the wrong thing. So, the man isn't telling her what the crimes are. She's just defending herself. Because they've been told that if they don't kill her, their bombs are going to blow up. So it's kind of a lose-lose for the villains. And she's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Every kill she gets, her power almost doubles. Almost. Not completely. And there's one guy who has the ability to take in meat and regenerate a limb. He takes in any kind of protein, he can regenerate a limb. And she cuts off his limb, and he stuffs some leaves in his mouth. And his limb starts to regenerate. And she goes, what the hell are you? And he starts laughing like, you can't kill me. So she's like, oh, crap. So we go a few days later, and she finally gets the drop on him and cuts his head off. Just completely cuts his head off. And she's going almost emotionless when she's near people. And we skip another year. She's killed less people, twice as many people, but less animals. She's starving. She's dizzy. She's dehydrated. And she has a pain in her gut. This is not from dehydration and starvation. No. Then she sees what's coming up from the lift. There's a spot in the center of the island that the man designated a lift. It is where she started, and she comes back every year the same day because he says you get a birthday present. And the first present she got was a shotgun shell. And she asked what to do with this, and he goes, just wait. You'll understand what to do with it later. And today, she's getting her birthday present, or her game present, for playing for a whole another 365 days. And he goes, woohoo, your present has arrived. And the lift's box comes up, and it's just a small box. And so she walks over, grabs the box, and rips it open, and sees that there's a shotgun in it. I can't do a Doomslayer what if without giving them the super shotty. You can't. But this is a special super shotty. This is going to be a one-shot super shotty, which is different than the two-shot super shotty. So the super shotgun from Doom, and this is a little backstory and a little off topic. Super shotgun from Doom is always a two-shot, and it's so powerful that Doom gets launched back every time he shoots it. Or the Slayer gets launched back every time he shoots it. She's been designated the Slayer in this game. And the other ones are known as the Hunters. The Hunters have to kill the Slayer, and he's explained this to her at the first birthday. And he goes, the Hunters have to kill the Slayer before the Slayer kills the Hunters. And she goes, okay, I understand. So what now? And we go back to her second birthday, and he goes, new rules. The Slayer has become the Hunter. And the Slayer doesn't kill the prey within a certain amount of time the bomb blows up. And he changed the game on her, and she goes, what the hell? And he goes, oh, don't worry. Each prey have more ammo. Each prey has an additional 2 shells. You have 2 shells on you right now? Let's see how many you collect at the end of the year. And she goes, okay. And she's getting pissed off because he gives her so little information now. He just tells her, survive. And she has to just think of what to do. And so she walks up to someone that's close to her, and he's asleep on the ground, not thinking of being attacked by, quote-unquote, the Slayer. And the villains still have the same deal. They have to kill the Slayer before the Slayer kills them, and they're free. And they're completely free. They can do whatever they want for a whole year. But that's only if they kill the Slayer. They have 3 days to do it. And it's a big island. And the sick part of this whole entire game is that the heroes and civilians are watching it. It's being broadcasted to the mainland all across the world. But they think it's being produced separately. So they think they have people dressing up as the villains, and the villains just disappear one day. And the villains are still acting like villains, and they think they just went into hiding, but they never show back up after this. And Aizawa's seeing this program, and All Might's just watching it being like, huh, the Slayer's doing damn good for just being a child. And he goes, what do you mean? And he goes, well, this is a TV show that they have a production studio in the middle of the woods for. And he goes, where? And he goes, I think they set it up near the Wild Wild Pussycats. And Aizawa goes, okay, I'll go check it out. Just make sure it's legit, because that looks like real blood. And All Might goes, yeah, the high-tech printing processes that they do is so unique. And he's just complimenting this TV show and the broadcasters that are setting up this TV show. And Aizawa's like, what the hell? And All Might goes, and you know what's even cooler? Is the main actress has a 12-year contract. And he hears this and goes, okay. So another year goes by, and during the last year, her quirk has evolved. And Aizawa saw this evolution and noted it down. He's like, okay, quirks evolve, yeah, but why the hell is she taking a chunk off their hand and biting it? Her quirk evolved that if she takes in any kind of genetic DNA from the enemy that she's just killed, either by the shotgun or the knife, because she still does have her knife, and every single enemy that she gets now has shotgun shells. And she walks back up to the platform and puts the shotgun away. And she goes, yo, asshole in my head, what's next? And she's getting pissed off because he doesn't help her anymore. She's going insane because she feels like she's alone and that she's just against the world. The world's completely against her. And he goes, ah. And he's dropped the facade completely. Ah, the player's back. And he's like, let's give you a challenge, huh? And she's like, just give me my fucking gift. You don't even care for my real birthday. You just care for when I started the game birthday. And he goes, exactly right. But I've also checked. And your birth date is the same day that the game has started. So... And she goes, no shit. You are the perfect candidate for the game. And no one hears this. They just see her in the middle of the woods, just blank-faced. But she's talking in her head with this voice. And so he's like, I'm going to give you something special today, because of how many years of good work you're doing. And she goes, it better either be a way to get you out of my goddamn head, or for you to get me the hell off this island, because I don't want to goddamn be here anymore. And he goes, what about your mother? And she goes, my mother, if you're keeping her alive just barely, is probably suffering. So I'd rather let her die than have her keep suffering. And if I live on, I could still do what she wants me to do. And he goes, yeah. But remember, there's still a bomb in your head. And she goes, damn it, I forgot about that. He goes, true, you did forget, but good thing I'm here to remind you. And the box is finally coming up, and he goes, the present has arrived. It's time for you to open it. And she sees this big old present, and she punches the metal and punches right through it and rips it open and goes, bruh. He goes, yes, this is going to be fun. And she goes, there's an ammo slot that says all ammos, special weapon. Then there's a gun slot that says all guns, special weapon. And then there's a knife slot saying all knives, special weapon. What the hell? And he goes, yes, yes, yes. I know you have 13 guns. I know that. You have 3,296 ammo. And she goes, damn, you're keeping track. And he goes, yes, yes. Then you have 15 knives, 2 daggers, 5 swords. And she goes, how the hell do you know all this stuff? And he goes, I got cameras everywhere. And 3 axes. If you input all the weapons and everything, I'll give you special weapons. Well, obviously not the super shotty. That's a present from me. You don't need to put that in there. And the beginning knife. You can keep that. No, throw the beginning knife in there. You won't need it anymore. And she goes, sure. And she takes the backpack off and dumps all the ammo in the thing. Goes, can I keep my backpack? And he goes, yes, yes, you can keep it. And now it's her with no ammo, no guns, well, super shoddy rounds, because she only gets 1 super shoddy round every year, and the rest are just shotgun rounds. Super shotgun rounds are different than normal shotgun rounds. Normal shotgun rounds are like 12 gauge buckshot. Super shoddy rounds are like 50 caliber buckshot. So there's a big difference. So she keeps all the super shoddy rounds, and he goes, yes, you can keep those. You only get 1 a year, so you're fine with those. And she goes, I really am going to regret this. And she loads a super shoddy round and locks it and puts it away. If anybody's seen a Smith & Wesson lever action, or a lever action rifle in general, you know what this shotgun looks like. Because that's what it looks like. No buttstock, short barrel. Oh, no, long barrel. It still has a normal 14-inch barrel. I think it's 14-inch. Maybe 16 or 18. It's one of those 3. It still has that long of a barrel, but it has no buttstock. So she just uses it as a normal pistol. And by this time, she's stronger than All Might. And I've always been watching, be like, what the hell is this? This is not appropriate for normal TV. And All Might goes, it's fine. It's just CGI and different stuff. You even saw it. And he goes, yeah, I saw the studio. It's a freaking massive area. Fake water on the outsides, too. He goes, what do you mean fake water? There's no such thing as fake water. And he goes, yeah. It's laced with drugs to keep people, to make anybody who drinks it hallucinate. I need to find out what they're doing in this thing that they call a game. And he goes, what would they hallucinate? He goes, temperature, seasons. And he goes, hallucinations are random. And he goes, there's quirks that help with that. And he goes, what kind of quirks? Mental quirks, dummy. And he goes, oh, we need to find out if this is legit or not. And he goes, yeah. And she still believes that she's out in the middle of nowhere on an island that no one can find. And it's only entertainment for one. So every once in a while, she flips off the camera. And he goes, tisk, tisk, tisk. What's the rude gesture for? I can't show this on TV. And then she flips it off again. Be like, you're not showing this on TV. So we go. So she was 8, I think. Yeah, she was 8 then. We go a year into the future. She's gathered all of her guns. She's put them all in the exchange area. And she says, so is this exchange area going to be here forever? And he goes, yes, yes, it will. And here's your first item, because you put the ammo and the guns there. You get a battle axe, and a great sword. And this battle axe is special. And she goes, oh God. He goes, this battle axe is so heavy that not even All Might can lift. And she lifts it up with one hand going, what the hell? And on the TV screen, they show the weight of the item that she just lifted up with one hand. And if you have ever seen Escanor wield his axe, Divine Axe Rita. And so she puts the guns in and she gets a special item. And she gets... And that's what I want you guys to choose in the comments. Pick out a gun from Doom, any other weapon from any other game, melee, ranged, any kind. And then she put all the, except for the knife, into the melee area. And she goes, can I keep this just in case these are trash? And he goes, yes, I wouldn't fool you though. So she sheaths the knife again because it's never left her side. And this thing pops out. And she picks it up and he goes, click the side button. And so she does. And all of a sudden this suit, or this orb, flies up, scans her, and flies back down. And the suit pops out in her perfect size for when she's going to grow up. Because she's growing to max maturity very fast. And she will look like what's in the picture. So she's covered in scars. She's bruised. She's got scars all over her arms, her legs. She's got no shoes. Her hair's always in a ponytail because she asked for a washer instead of a hair tie. So her hair's stuck in the washer. Her hair's waist length, but whenever it gets past that, she just cuts it off at waist length. And every single time that she's called back to the center, she goes with a single jump. And she's not called back to the center very often, but when she is, she knows that if she doesn't go, pain. And a lot of it. So she's basically programmed to listen to people that have control over her. Or higher ranking people. Because there was a drop ship that apparently flew over and dropped people onto this set. And the man told her, don't go near them, or there'll be severe consequences. And she just watched them. She did go near them one time, but she had the intense pain in her head, so she walked away, and it went away. And so she just watched them. And they go in, and they drop something there. And they walk out. They go back to the dropship, which is currently hovering overhead. They get on, they click a button, and it zooms them back up to the dropship, and they fly off. And this is a 24-hour thing. All day, every day, no matter what. So everybody's like, oh, let's just tune in and see what the Slayer's doing. People now put bets on the Slayer against people. People put bets on the villains against the Slayer. It's now a worldwide sport. But no one knows where this broadcast is coming from. They think it's all coming from Japan. All the high-ranking people in the military. But Aizawa doesn't think that it's coming from Japan. He thinks this broadcast is coming from a villain's diabolical mind. And so he's like, or this is the game master, and that's all she knows him as. He goes, I'll give you a present. And she goes, oh God. And he goes, oh, don't worry. You can call your mom. And her eyes widen. And Aizawa's watching currently, wondering what is going through her mind right now. And he saw that her eyes widened. And it's like, oh my, this is not normal. She's obviously communicating with somebody. He goes, duh. People are in the background and there's no cuts. And she darts to the center. And he goes, no. It's not going to be dropped off at the center. It's going with a villain. You got to stop the villain from pressing in the wrong numbers. The number is 969999696. And he says this with confidence. So she runs off and starts just completely eradicating all the villains. And the villain with the cell phone wakes up with the cell phone in his hand. So he flicks it open. And he sees that it's full charge. And it has an hour call time. That's it. An hour call time. And he goes, cool. And he starts typing in a number. And he hears, if you press enter, I shoot. And he freezes going, oh crap. And he turns to where the gun's pointing at his head and he sees the green armor that he's told that the Slayer's wearing. And he goes, I'm guessing you want this? And she goes, thank you. She takes the phone and pulls the trigger. And she rips off a finger and bites it. She's not eating the meat. No. No. Switch to another weapon and hit him again, huh? Sorry. But I will need your help on the second weapon. So she has Divine Axe Rita. And no, this is not the actual Divine Axe Rita. This is a plasma blade that looks like Divine Axe Rita. The blade is made out of plasma. So she's wielding it like a maniac, chopping through the forest. But she sees that he almost pressed enter. So she clears it out, the number, and she types in the number. And she calls. And the game master says, if you want to talk to her fully within the full hour, you must go to the center. Because, well, that's the only place I gave it cell signal. And she sees the cell signal and it has no bars. So she bolts off to the center, stands in the center of the center to get full bars, and she's talking to her mom. And she's crying. And he goes, God damn it. You're not supposed to cry? Well, it's kind of normal. I'll just put on screen that we're giving you a relative you haven't talked to in forever. And that this thing has been very taxing on your mind. It's fine. And it goes, we gave her an option to call her long-lost family relative, and it's because she's starting to get mentally taxed, and she kept flagging down the producers every time we cut out, and Aizawa has been watching this for a 24-hour time span, and he knows this hasn't cut out ever. And he goes, bullcrap. And no one knows this, that it hasn't been cutting out. The people who watch the night shift are like, oh, it cuts out during the day. They just show the night stuff. And then the day stuff, the people that watch during the day are like, oh, it cuts out during the night. They just show the day stuff. And I was like, bullshit. This is never cut once. And Nezu's calling around. He's been freaking out every time he gets a open line to the movie producers and TV show producers, trying to find who's broadcasting this. And they find that it's being broadcasted by abandoned cell tower. Like cell phone tower. And they're like, what the hell? So they go to the cell phone tower and shut it off. It just jumps to a different one. They shut that one off. They keep tracking it all the way back. It's going around the world. Around the world in 80 days. Woo! No. It's going around the world, and everybody's like, where the hell is it originating from? And Aizawa goes, wherever the hell it's originating from, they're doing a damn good job at hiding it. So we skip. So she's 10 now. We skip to when she's 16. UA is about to start. Aizawa gets called in by Nezu, and he says, we found the producers. And his eyes widen, and he goes, where? And he says, they're hiding out in an abandoned warehouse 2 buildings down away from UA. And his eyes widen even more knowing that. He goes past that building every day when he goes to UA. Because his house is 13 houses down, or 13 buildings down from that house. And he darts off. He gets Midnight darting off. He gets Cement Toss, makes him go with Mike, Power Loader. He gets every teacher in UA to go. And he says that we need to ask them questions. And they go, why? It's just a normal TV show. And he goes, no, it's not. Her reactions are genuine, not acting. And I go, well, yeah. And he goes, remember when the game master, or the supposed narrator started this? He said that she had a 12-year contract. The show should end today. And on that, it says, breaking news. The Slayer's hunt is now over. And everybody gets a ding on their phone saying that the Slayer's hunt program has now ended. Its 12-year timeline, its 12-year life is now over. And they walk into the producer studio and they see a villain that they haven't seen for 12 years. And Aizawa goes, oh, crap. And he goes, you finally found me. Well, I wasn't really hiding now. I just kind of led you to me. And he goes, what? He goes, yeah, I'm dead. Well, actually not dead. I'm dying. This is the last little fun game I wanted before I kicked the bucket, to be more exact. If you enter the first room on your left, you'll find my rotting corpse, basically, and my only request is for you to save my, what used to be trying to become a hero brother from that asshole, All For One. And Aizawa and Midnight know exactly who he is, because they know who his brother is. And his brother has told them that his little brother was diagnosed with a disease, and he's going to die in a few years. But they forgot about the disease. They just know that his little brother was a villain that is very slippery. So they walk into the room, and they see him, and they go, well, you at least have to go to jail for a day. And he goes, I can't move. And he's saying this all in their heads. And he finally sheds a tear going, I will let her go in 5 minutes. It's all I have left. And he's strained just talking to them because he's dying. And he goes, dude, just let her go now. And he goes, there's still one more villain in the playground. And if she goes berserk, I'm sorry. And it's been like 5 minutes of him talking and telling them what he did to her and her mother, and how her mother's perfectly fine and in the next room over, and how her mother has been just worried about her, and he legally forged a document to show that she signed a contract to do this game, and that all injuries and death play or showed in this game are all fake and nothing's real. And he goes, I convinced her mother to play along or she dies. And then he croaks. And they run over to her mother's room and they pull her out. She's older. She's in perfect health. She healed perfectly fine from that slam into, because they were all on the left side. The truck slammed in on the right side. Yeah, the truck slammed in on the right side. Or in Europe or Japan, I think they are on the right. The truck slammed into the opposite side of the vehicle from where they are. So they're perfectly safe, because the car got squished on that side, not their side. So they did not get hit. They had some blunt force trauma, but that's it. And so she goes, Is it over? What happened? And he goes, don't worry. We have everything situated. And she sees all these heroes running in, checking her. They bring in CoverGirl. They make sure that she's all fine. They go, please go home. And she goes, I've been here for I don't know how long. I don't know if my home is still there. And their eyes widen. They look at Aizawa and he goes, what are you looking at me for? Go get her. And they all run off to the area in the middle of the woods that is this giant facility. And no one batted an eye at this facility because it was massive. But everybody's like, oh, they got permits for it. So they're just sitting there outside the facility. And they hear, doom, doom, like something's breaking out. And it's just metal doors that are just getting slight dents in them. And she's on the other side, just pulling back her arm fully and slamming it as hard as possible. And pretty much nothing's happening. And she's like, I just screw this. And she backs up and she runs and flying kicks that and knocks it off its hinges, sending the door into multiple trees, uprooting them. And they saw how thick that door was. That door was 3 feet thick. Well, technically it was 3 doors, 1 foot thick each, but it was 3 feet thick. And All Might was there, and he heard the boom, and he got out of the way of the doors immediately, telling everybody get out of the way. And Cement Toss was on the wall, about to open a way for them to get in, when the door came flying off the hinges, almost killing Power Loader. She's like, God damn it. And she walks out. She has scars. She has blood all over her. Or she's pissed off. And Aizawa goes, whoa, 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 whoa. You're out. You're safe. I'm Pro Hero Eraserhead. Please calm down. And she goes, is that asshole dead? Is the game master freaking dead? And he goes, yes, he died. Can you please calm down? And she goes, thank God he's dead. And she's visibly pissed. It looks like she has rabies at this point. She's not foaming at the mouth, obviously, but it looks like she has rabies because her eyes are glowing red. And she is buff as all hell. But everybody looks at her and is like, what did we put her through? Most of the heroes that thought this show was a lie or fake, like most shows on TV are, they thought, oh crap, we thought she was just doing it for the money. And what most of them didn't see was her taking this plasma knife that she got one year, jabbing it into the back of her neck, and pulling something out. And says, damn it, she drops it and stomps, leaving a crater. She went full power stomp. It's like, God damn, that guy is annoying. And she walks in, and the lights are flickering because the door got blown off, which sent a shockwave through the entire area, ripping up trees, ripping up bushes, sending a few bodies flying, and some lights to hang down. And she's like, screw this place. And she sees a metal, her little lip. And she's like, wonder what I could do with this. So she reaches down, and it looks like she's putting her hand through water when she puts her hand through the crack. And she's shoving her hand down there, grabbing the bottom of the plate, pulling it up, and All Might runs in like, whoa, please stop. And she sees me and says, damn symbol of peace, probably watch me like the rest of those damn idiots. And she throws it at All Might, because she had hope in him until the second year, when she lost all hope and she just played the game for survival's sake. And he dodges it, and she goes, so you dodged the first one. And she grabs another one one-handed, and grabs another one one-handed, pulls them both up, and throws them both. And All Might can't dodge them all forever. So Aizawa runs in front of her, saying, whoa, I didn't think this was a game. I thought this was all real. I was trying to help you. And he says this, and everybody's like, yeah, he was the only one. And so she got even more pissed that all these people thought that she was behind a camera for her own benefit of getting money. So she got a stone, and she threw it as hard as she could at All Might. It grazed his chest, blowing out a few ribs. She's like, God damn it. And she's just letting all her anger out that has been building up over the years. Like the Doomslayer, or like some people in the Doomslayer said, or Doomslayer Wiki said, he's just too pissed off to die. That's also for some berserkers. And so she sits down and says, I'll leave this spot when I see my mother. And Aizawa goes, okay. Everybody, go get her. And if there's a single scratch on her, I don't care what she does to you. I'll let her do it. And she grins wildly and goes, I like you a little bit more. And he goes, thank you. I'll also do the exact same thing she does, but she'll probably do it a lot harder. And they all freeze at this, because Aizawa's an underground hero, yes. But he's also a lot stronger than All Might, because All Might can buff down to skinny form, Skinny Might, without the injury. So, All Might's currently on the ground, bleeding out, and she goes, oh, damn wimp. So she walks over and she cauterizes the wound with a plasma blade and goes, there, now you're not bleeding out. Go see the goddamn doctors. And Recovery Girl walks up and says, thank you. I'm not a hero. I am just a medic. And she goes, okay. And she goes, you're bleeding. Let me heal that. And she goes, no need. I'm almost done healing. And, oh, my voice hurts. And she goes, what? And she goes, yeah. That's how I've survived in that hellhole for the last goddamn 12 years. And she goes, oh, okay. Well, I'd like to do a checkup, see what injuries you have and what we can accommodate you for. And she goes, I got no injuries. And she literally takes the plasma blade, stabs herself in the gut, rips it out and says, this is going to heal in the next 2 minutes. And it heals within the next 2 minutes. No injuries. These scars are from when I didn't have this ability. So Recovery Girl is seeing this after healing All Might, and All Might's currently passed out on the ground with a big freaking scar on his chest, on his left side. And so Aizawa says, I have a proposition for you. And she goes, what the hell is it? And he goes, I put you in UA. You go into my class. You become the next symbol of peace to show that everybody who is on TV is not always just doing it for themselves. And she goes, maybe. And she goes, it depends on who's there. And she is blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Now she has cat eyes because one of them had a cat quirk. And she has fought multiple cats in the woods, so she got cat-like abilities. And what one benefit is the cat eyes. So so she goes, it depends on who's in the class. If there's someone in the class that she can recognize, then she'll join the class. And he goes, okay. And he pulls up a picture of the roster for his class. And he shows the pictures to her, and she goes, him. And he looks at who she was pointing at and goes, Katsuki Bakugo. Airhead. Egotistical. Anger. All the time. And she goes, yep, that's Kachan. And he hears the nickname and he goes, okay. Definitely going in my class with him. And she goes, if I'm not in your class with him, I'm burning that goddamn school to the ground. And he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. I have first pick on who's in my class, so you're definitely in my class with him. And she's good. Now I'm hungry. And he goes, Cover Girl, do you have a lollipop? And she goes, damn it, I forgot them. He goes, no worries, I got a nutrient bar. It's very nutritious. And she goes, where's the meat? And he goes, we can get meat when we get to UA. She goes, fine. And she snatches the nutrient bar, her in blinding speed. She opens it and eats it in one bite. And he goes, whoa, you can slow down. She goes, survival. Eating slow means you lose food later. And he goes, true. Fine. And he's like, if I try arguing, she's going to get mad at me, and I'll lose favor, and I won't be able to teach her anything. So we skip to the next day. It's the first day of UA, and this big raid was done, and everybody saw it on the news. And she finally took the washer out of her hair, and she let her hair flow, and she's been cleaning herself of the blood every 48 hours. So she has good hygiene for being in the wilderness a lot. But she drinks normal water and she thinks that it's the best thing on earth. Because she's drank that disgusting hallucinogenic water for the longest time. That she's gotten used to the taste. So she chugs a gallon of water. And he goes, you can slow down. We have infinite of that. And she goes, fresh water is hard to come by. And he goes, not now. And he walks up to the fridge and he presses the thing. And she freaks out because she forgot what a fridge is. She forgot what appliances are. Because she hasn't been in civilization for 12 years. She remembers Bakugo because that's one of the only anchors she had. She remembers Mitsuki because that's one of the only anchors she had. And her mother, especially her mother, that was the only anchor she had. to keep her sane. Everything else she put out of her mind. She's like, fire, need fire. And so you give her a stove with fire and she can cook whatever you want. Anything meat, she can cook. But you give her a electrically heated stove and she'll try to take the fire out of it somehow. And Aizawa asks, so what's your quirk? And she flinched at that. And she asks, can we please not do that? Oh, who is it? Well, I'll be right back. So, she wakes up in the dorms because Nezu had the emergency dorms built just for people that are captured by villains and need rehabilitation. And he set up a room for her. He set up a room with the bare minimums. And he put a cot instead of a normal bed. Because he knows the difference between a normal person and someone who's basically had military training for the most of their life. And he saw how she walked and knew that she needed a cot, not a bed. If you don't know what a cot is literally just a piece of cloth stretched between two metal bars, or 4 metal bars, because it's one at top, one at bottom, and 2 on the sides. 4 metal bars, and you dangle up above the ground like that. So that's a cot. And he set that up for her, and she saw the mouse and goes, is that food? And Aizawa goes, no. That's the principal of our school. He's not food. And he goes, hello, I am Nezu. And she goes, damn rat talked. He goes, for one, I'm a rodent, not a rat. They can't identify if I'm a rat or a mouse. So call me a rodent if you must. But my name is Nezu. I'm the principal of this fine establishment, and I will be your number one call if you ever need anything that is not based on hero work. And she goes, okay, and? He goes, that's pretty much it. Call me if you need anything other than hero work. And he hands her a business card, and she goes, what the hell is this? It's a survival item? He goes, no, it's called a business card. It's what you use if you need to contact me. I have my information there if you ever need to talk to me and contact me. And she goes, okay. A very weird use of wood. And he goes, you know what paper is, but not a business card? And she goes, I can spot wood from a mile away, god damn it. In the sea of concrete, I can spot wood. And he goes, okay. And why didn't you try to escape when you could see that you're in a concrete box? And she goes, first off, I was in a concrete box because he put me in a damn concrete box. Second off, I was in that concrete box for 12 years because he had my mom hostage and he put a bomb in my head. And she looks at Aizawa and says, remember that thing I crushed underfoot? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, that was the bomb. He'd immediately blow the bomb if I tried taking it out before he said I was free. So that's why I never took it out. And he goes, okay. Well, he's dead now, so no need to worry about him. And she goes, I know. He said his goodbyes. He said, goodbye, player. I'm gonna go die in a corner now. Or die in a hole. Whatever he said, I don't care. And Aizawa goes, okay, well, I shall take you to your dorms now, and we go to the first day of UA, and she walks up to a desk that has a blonde-haired kid in it, and she leans over at him and says, hello. And she gives a creepy smile, and he gets shivers and goes, oi, extra. Stop leaning in my airspace. And she goes, that's no way to treat me, Bakugo. Or should I call you by what I used to call you? Ka-chan. And his eyes widen and go, what? I thought you were dead. And she goes, I can't be killed that easily. And she shoots herself in the heart, and her heart and she regenerates. And he goes, oh my fucking god! Why the hell did you do that? And she goes, to show you I can't be killed very easily. Duh. And he goes, that's not fair. That's not normal. You know that, right? And she goes, well, what I did for the past 12 years is not normal at all. So, and he goes, what did you do for the past 12 years? She goes, I played a death game. Remember that one program that was called Manhunt? Or Slayer Hunters or whatever? And he goes, yeah. I hated that show. She goes, thank God you did. Because I was the star of that show. He goes, what? She goes, yeah. I could tell you all about my gruesome tale over lunch. It's very appetizing. And he goes, okay, what do you plan on having for lunch? She goes, and she looks at Aizawa, who's currently underneath his desk hiding. And she goes, yo, Aizawa, what do they serve here? And he goes, damn it. They serve steak. And she's, what the fuck is a steak? What kind of meat? Cow? Chicken? Panther? Lion? And he goes, we serve cow? Pork? Chicken? And vegetable. And she goes, ugh, vegetables. Ugh. Serve any fish? And he goes, yeah. She goes, what kind of fish? And he goes, you're gonna have to go ask the lunch guy. And she goes, where is he? He goes, in the staff room. And she goes, I'll be right back. And she runs off to the staff room. Well, not runs off. She walks off to the staff room. And she walks in and goes, oi, where's the lunch dude? And he says, that would be me. And he's the chef dude. I don't know his hero name, sorry. And she goes, what kind of fish do you serve? And he goes, multiple kinds. I serve cod, I serve tilapia, I serve salmon. She goes, any exotic fish? And he goes, I serve piranha, very, very hard to get. I serve puffer, that's hard to get, but not as hard as piranha. I serve shark fin stew, and she goes, disgusting. Do you know what the lifespan of a shark is after their fins are taken off? And he goes, no. And she goes, the lifespan of a shark after the fins are taken off is 2 hours. And his eyes behind his mask widen, and he goes, well, today is the last day of shark fin stew, because I have an order already he set in. So, yeah. And she goes, good man. Any others? And he goes, nope. And she goes, I'll take 3 orders of cod, 2 orders of tilapia, because those are good. Raw, because I like cooking them myself. And he goes, I'm sorry, I do not serve them raw. And she goes, how about this? Cook off at lunch. And he goes, okay. What are we cooking? And she goes, we're gonna smoke something. And he goes, okay. And she goes, so I need the fish now, 1 slab of cow, and 2 slabs of pork. And he goes, okay. What parts? And she goes, the ones with the rib bones for the cow and the pig. Those. And he goes, that would be ribs for the pig. For the cow, on the other hand, I'm sorry, but we don't cook the ribs in the cow. She goes, waste not. What the hell? He goes, I will change that as fast as possible. I will. I promise. She goes, good. Now, give me the pig ribs and the damn fish. Is the fish boned or deboned? And he goes, yeah. I don't serve bony fish. And she goes, okay. Anything else? And he goes, do you have vegetables? And she goes, no, fuck off with the vegetables. And he goes, okay, sorry about the noise in the background. I'm currently trying to fill up a bottle with ice. And he goes, okay, so is that all? And she goes, yes, I need them now. And he goes, okay, I'll get that ready immediately. And she goes, if you use any goddamn high-tech bullshit to smoke stuff immediately, you're just a wimp. And he goes, oh, don't worry. I was about to get up and go start smoking the fish and the pig. Let's go. And he takes her to the meat locker, and it's quite a big meat locker for UA. And she goes, ooh, so much meat. And she basically dives in, grabs the pieces that she wants. And they're the pieces that normally people discard, too. And he goes, are you sure? And she goes, yeah. Perfect spots. I know exactly how to cook these. And he goes, okay. And she goes, do you have any of these leafy green thingies called, I forget what they're called. They look like sticks. They look like they're in a bundle of sticks. And he goes, are you thinking of celery? And she goes, maybe. What does it look like? And he goes, this. And he pulls out a thing of celery, and she goes, yes, that. I need 10 of those. He goes, 10 of these full things. And she goes, yes. He goes, okay. I'll get that ready immediately. And he gets all the meat ready, and he gives it to her, and she goes, good. Now, let's go. And she walks outside, and he goes, aren't you going to use the smoker? And she goes, you got a what? He goes, yeah, we have a machine that smokes it. We just need to put all the right wood in it and smoke it. She goes, no. You just need to find a good tree. And she pulls out her battle axe that she has on her at all times, because Aizawa asked her if she could take it off, and she goes, no. The armor stays on and the battle axe stays on at all times until she trusts people. So she walks over to a tree, finds it, and chops it in one hit. And goes, perfect wood. And she's holding up with one hand, and he goes, okay. And she cuts it up just thin enough to use as like a TP for fire. And she starts hitting two rocks together. He's like, we have a fire starter. And she goes, what? And it goes, yeah. And he pulls out a lighter and lights the wood for her. And she smells the difference in this fire. And she goes, no. Handmade. And he goes, okay. So she starts smoking it, and Aizawa's currently in class. He goes, okay, class, we're starting. And Baka goes, what happened to her? And he goes, oh, the Slayer? He goes, she has a name, though. And he goes, yeah, she doesn't trust me enough to say it. He goes, wonder if she'll trust me enough. He goes, I suggest you don't say it, because we looked it up, and we said it, and she goes, don't you dare say it! Again! And he says, she threatened every single hero at UA that saw her name. If they say it without her permission, they're going to get their heads chopped off. And he goes, okay, that's very strange. She's normally very docile. And he goes, well, she was in the woods for the last 12 years. So, I think there's a misconception now. And he goes, true. Let's just wait. So they go do the test. She's not at the test. Aizawa goes, okay, it's lunchtime. Everybody goes off to lunch, and there's a buffet. Buffet saying Slayer's meals and the chef's meals. And the chef has vegetables, fruits, everything to make it taste good. And it had the Slayer's meals with one type of vegetables, one vegetable in each plate, and all the different meats on one plate. And they have to go buy her meals to his meals. And just smell alone, they want to go to her meals. So she is just standing there waiting for them to ask her for some food. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So she is just standing there, and Bakugo walks by, picks up a plate. It's saying thank you, and she says, "You're welcome." Tell her how good it is, and if you want to feel extra full and extra satisfied, go over to his and compare them. And he goes, he will, and that he would like to talk to her later. And she goes, sure thing. You have to find her later, though. And he goes, I accept your challenge. And she goes, hey. He goes, oh crap, what did I do? So, lunch is over, and everybody who has taken both plates has been required to set a voting in the ballot box of who had the better smoked meat. And so the chef that has been at UA for a long time was hoping that he would show up this amateur, because he's 30-ish. I'm guessing. I don't really know his age. He's 30-ish. He's been doing it for 15-ish years. She's been doing it for like 8 years. And she's like, oh, now it's time for me to start counting up the ballots. And he goes, why you? Why not an extra person? And she goes, I don't really care if I win or lose. I win? Yay, I won. But if I lose, well, looks like I'm not eating for a week. And he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. You can eat for a week. She's just, no, that's my punishment if I lose. I don't really care, though. I can go for a whole year without eating. He goes, what? She goes, yeah. I've done it before. But anyways, she starts tallying it up. Me, you, me, you. And she's doing that, and she's keeping a mental note. She's doing it really quickly, too. It's like, and she goes, I had 64, and you had 64. And someone runs up going, wait, I forgot to put mine in. And he hands it to her, and this is Minetta. And she goes, I already know what your answer is, and that doesn't count because you just want to get in bed with me. And hell no. And he's like, you don't even know me. And she goes, I can see it in your eyes. You're a freaking pervert. And he goes, damn. And he starts laughing. The cook starts laughing his butt off, being like, well. And Bakugo walks up saying, I didn't. And he goes, never mind, I was about to say, we're just as good as each other. And she goes, it's either a win-win or a lose-lose. He goes, what do you mean? And she goes, he's either going to put both or he's going to put none. And he goes, how do you know? And she goes, well, I'm his childhood friend. That probably came into a swing. He wants to get back to the favor of actually saying my name, which I'll need your help, guys. If you guys gotten this far, I'll need your help with a name for her. And so he's probably wanting to say my name, and he doesn't want to let you down, so he probably put both. And if he didn't put anything and just left it blank, it's a lose-lose for both of us, because, well, we don't get to see who's better. And it's true. He goes, don't worry, it wasn't blank. I tallied up all the teachers, though. And she goes, so you already voted? And he goes, yeah, my vote's in that pile. I tallied up the teachers, though. Add 36 to both of your scores. And she goes, no, 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 no. That's impossible. And he goes, well, and I'm guessing that the staff of the UA is over 100 people, so yeah. And he goes, well, look at this list. And he shows the list, and it shows the initials for each of the teachers, and it shows the initials for each of the participants, or an X for or which one was better. And there, she's going through it and reading it. Me, you, me. And she's reading it and she goes, holy crap. We're tied again. 100 to 100. Huh. Well, uh, thank you for tallying it up, I guess. Well, that was fun. Let's do another cooking challenge later. And he goes, next time, vegetables. And she goes, but I don't like vegetables. And he goes, too bad. We both need to eat vegetables. And she goes, I'd rather not eat for a year. And he goes, oh my God. I'll have Recovery Girl make candied bacon for you. And she hears candied bacon, goes, what the hell is candied bacon? And he goes, remember the second meat I used? And she goes, yeah. And he goes, that is smoked bacon. And he pulls out a little plate saying, this is for you. And she goes, ooh, thank you. No. And she's pulling out all the vegetables, and he goes, you have to eat the meat with the vegetables to get the full flavor. If you don't, well, it's just going to taste like a piece of meat. And she goes, that's the best flavor. And he goes, okay. And so she eats it, and she goes, oh my God, so good. And he goes, well, I'm about to try yours. And she goes, I did make an extra plate. That kind of was for me, but sure. So he eats it, and he goes, damn, that was good. And she goes, well, that was my best recipe. And he goes, you didn't use any spices, though. And she goes, exactly. You don't need anything to flavor up meat. You just need the right wood. And he goes, is that why you chopped down the only one of those trees on UA? And she goes, yeah, you just need the right wood. Don't worry, I planted like 10 more with the saplings on that tree. He goes, wait, there's saplings? And she goes, yeah. There's only one of those trees, and the game master had a world of knowledge that he gave all to me. So I'm probably as smart as Nezu, but I don't care to show it sometimes. And he goes, wow. And she goes, yeah. Well, I'm going to sleep. And she walks out, and Baka goes, she's very reclusive. And he goes, yeah, very. And they walk away from each other, and he goes, oh, Mom's gonna be mad that I didn't get her to come home, or at least visit. He walks to his home, and he hears laughter. He's like, what's going on? He walks in, and I'm gonna end it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Cliffhanger! Talk to you guys later.